This lesson is going to introduce you to compound complex sentences. First of all, let's review. We're going to begin by reviewing simple sentences. A simple sentence is made up of one independent clause. So for example, my parents come home from work at 5:30 is an example of a simple sentence. My father cooks dinner is another example of a simple sentence. Let's review compound sentences. Compound sentences are made up of two independent clauses, and they are joined with a conjunction, like and, or but. So, for example, my parents come home from work at 5:30, and my father cooks dinner. Here we have two independent clauses. My parents come home from work at 5:30. My father cooks dinner. And we have a conjunction joining them, the word and. Also notice the comma placement before the conjunction. A third type of sentence is the complex sentence. And a complex sentence has at least one subordinate clause. So for example, after my parents come home from work at 5:30, my father cooks dinner. After is a subordinating conjunction, and it gives you a clue that this is a subordinate clause that begins the sentence. And of course, it also has one independent clause, which in this example sentence is, my father cooks dinner. Remember, independent clauses are independent because they can stand by themselves as a complete sentence and still make sense. So, what is a compound complex sentence? Well, it includes both a compound sentence and a complex sentence. We use these to improve our writing, but be careful because using too many of them can be dangerous because it makes your writing very wordy. Let's take a look at the example. When my parents come home from work at 5:30, there is your subordinate clause. My father cooks dinner, and my mom cleans up the house. There's your compound sentence. So, the subordinate clause at the beginning makes it complex, and the fact that we have a conjunction and joining two other complete sentences makes it compound. Hence, compound complex sentences. So, let's practice using these. Take a look at these two sentences. My best friend Jamie told us she was moving. I felt very sad and we both cried. The first sentence is a simple sentence. The second is a compound sentence. Remember, your clue that it's a compound sentence is that conjunction and connecting two complete sentences. I felt very sad, we both cried. Now, let's turn that into a compound complex sentence. We can do this by including one of those subordinating conjunctions that you have a list of in your activity and in a prior lesson. I have selected the subordinating conjunction when, which you can see is orange in my example sentence. When my best friend Jamie told us she was moving, comma, I felt very sad and we both cried. So really, to do this, I've just combined the two sentences from the initial example. My best friend Jamie told us she was moving, sentence 1. I felt very sad and we both cried, sentence 2. I've just combined them, and in order to combine them, I began the first sentence with a subordinating conjunction. For this activity that you are going to do with this lesson, you are going to follow the exact same procedure. And you are guaranteed to have the first one correct, since this is the answer to number 1.